everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Hannah. This channel is a knitting podcast channel, but today I have a different kind of video. I've been wanting to do this kind of video for a while, so here's the idea. I've been knit-spired or yarn-spired or craft-spired. Every month for like the past couple years, I have been going through Instagram and Pinterest and saving things monthly. There's a fly going around, so sorry about that if you can see that. But I've been going through Instagram and Pinterest and all of the places monthly, saving things monthly, in the hopes that I would make a video like this, and I'm just now getting to it. That's the idea. So I've been knit-spired. So I'm gonna be grouping everything that I've seen in different categories, and we'll talk about our knits first, and then our crochet, and then our sewing, and then if embroidery happens, and all of that stuff. So I think I have knit, crochet, sewing, and embroidery. I don't have very much to talk about, but I do have something for all of those things for today. The first thing that I have saved is the Lyra Tee by Irene Lin, and this is like a cropped t-shirt, although the sleeves are fairly long. So it's like a transition piece. I guess you could really wear this like in the spring and in the fall, and then, I mean, I'm sure you could wear it in the winter. You know, you could probably wear it whenever, but with the length of those sleeves, I'm thinking like a transition type of piece. What I really like about this pattern is the cute cabling detail down at the bottom. It's like ribbing, then cable, then ribbing, and then straight stockinette for the bottom. But on the sleeves, it looks like it's actually ribbing all of the way up the sleeve. So that is a cute design element to have like a stockinette body, but then the sleeves continue the ribbing design that, you know, is on the bottom. It's really pretty, really feminine looking. Irene Lin's patterns are just feminine looking anyway, but yeah, this one caught my eye in June, so yeah, I really like that one. This is the Fancy Jacques sweater, or Jacques, I think it's Jacques, I'm not sure, by Colibri by Johanna. And so I really like this one for a kid. Obviously that's what it's been modeled in, or modeled for. I love the like sideways knitting at the top, like the yoke, and down through the sleeves. That's super cute. And then, you know, it changes to up and down stockinette. But what really grabbed my attention and why I saved it is the neon colors. I was going through there, you know, going through Instagram, and I was like, wow, those are some really bright colors. I have a daughter that looks so adorable in the brightest colors ever. So I may have to be almost like a copycat and do something like that for my daughter. But I don't know if I'll get around to it this year or not. But when I do, I'm gonna remember this and remember the bright colors. And I love how the ribbing is actually, let's see, the neckline, the bottom ribbing, and the sleeve ribbing, or the cuff ribbing, is navy. I think that tied in those neon colors so well. So that is all my knitting things that I saw in June. So I'm gonna go to my July. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about is this yarn. What I really like about this, what inspired me about this, is the yarn. The yarn is what grabbed my attention, and I am like so in love with it. I need it like right now. I need to make something out of it right now. She is modeling a new design that she's coming out with for this, and she's done in this yarn, and it's I don't know if she's naming it the Confetti vest, or if that's just what she's calling it right now because she's using that yarn. But it's a v-neck, and she says it's suitable for beginners. But this yarn is Fabel, and the color is 924. This is the Tolsta tank, and this is made by Penny and Pearls. Let's see, can I find her name? Claire, from Penny and Pearls on Instagram. And what I love about this, about her Tolsta tank, is that she did stripes. And I have some yarn that I only have one skein of, and it can make something very small, but like not a t-shirt. It would have to be a tank top. I love how she did the striping and then the contrast with the ribbing. And again, I might have to be a copycat when I get around to doing that. Obviously not the same colors or anything like that, but I've been Knitspired, and I think that will be one of the next things that goes on my needles after I finish a few things. If you saw my last podcast, I've got a few things that I've got to get done. This is the Ballerina Romance sweater by Macimille. Her name is Camille, and yeah, this is a very sweet and feminine what's it called, wrap style sweater, except for it doesn't actually completely wrap around like with strings and stuff. It's completely attached, but it does the whole wrap thing in the front, and I love that because I don't really like the strings flip-flopping everywhere or having a little bow that you gotta worry about coming undone or anything like that. This is done in a, well, it looks like a mohair, something and a mohair, probably 2 strands of mohair is what, 72% mohair and 28% silk. She says, I knit my sweater with Yagi yarn. So I don't know what yarn that is. It's completely new to me. I've never heard of it, but so yeah, a mohair yarn is what she used, and yeah, so pretty. I love the scalloping along the edge of the wrap, and I also have seen that it can be worn forwards and backwards, like it's reversible. And it has really pretty cabling and lace details on the sleeve. I don't know, this one is just very feminine and like, I don't know, it just gives really pretty, dreamy vibes, and I like it a lot. So I don't know if I'll ever knit it, but I very much love that. My last knit item is this Provence top, but specifically this one knit by Fiber and Floral, I can't remember her name, Becca, and I just really love what she did. It's like nautical, and yeah, she has another one that she knit and it was purple. Go watch her podcast. I will link it in the description below. She has made some really pretty stuff. I don't know if I will actually make a striped one or if I'll ever do this, but it kind of makes me want one of these really bad in a striped version, honestly. Yeah, it's just really pretty. The Provence top is a really pretty sweater top to begin with, but like this is super cool. The nautical striping. She gives why she explains why she did striping in her podcast, which I'll let her explain that. So go watch her episode. It's a really good episode. So yeah, I've been inspired by that. Very, very much love that. Okay, my next thing that I'm going to talk about is crochet, and I don't think I have any like clothing for crochet. Yeah, there's no clothing that I wanted to show or talk about for crochet, but I did want to talk about this pillow cushion. This is not a pattern. She says that she made this by accident because she was going to make a tote bag and then it turned out too big. So she made it into a floor cushion, or a floor poof, I should say. And honestly, I just want one. I love the colors of this, and yeah, my children play with pillows on the floor all the time, so why not just make them a floor cushion that they can just throw around and be rough with, and I don't have to worry about, like, okay, the pillow was on the floor, do I really want it on the couch now, type of thing. So that's fun. I really like it. I love the colors. I'm pretty sure it's just a scrappy project that she started. Yeah, super cute. Love it. Might have to make one. The next thing I have is another like cushion type of thing, and it is a glazing donut cushion, I think. It looks like there's a free tutorial for it on Paintbox Yarns. So that's where it's from, Paintbox Yarns. Except for they credited Crafty Kitty Crochets, so I imagine that lady designed it, and now Love Crafts, you can find it on Love Crafts. No, Paintbox Yarns. You can find it on Paintbox Yarns. I just really like it because it's donut, and possibly I'll have to make one for my daughter because she's obsessed with no-nos. That's what she calls donuts. And I think she would flip about this. Okay, so this blanket I found on Pinterest, and it is called Scandi Meadow Modern Crochet Blanket, and it's a pattern. What I really love is the navy blue with the bright pops of pink and like the bright rainbow border. That is, I just really love how that looks. I don't know if like this is attainable for me. I mean, like, I know how to crochet, but I'm not an advanced beginner. I'm an adventurous beginner, but like I get lost in the stitches because they're not live, like in knitting, you know, they're all on your knitting needle. So that, it looks difficult, but I'm sure I could probably figure it out. But what I really love about this pattern, or this blanket, is the color choices that they made. There, right next to it is a neon colors and white. I don't know, there's something about that navy and neon, because in that first sweater that I showed with the neon colors as the main thing and then the ribbing as navy, just so pretty and classic, I guess. I don't know if it's classic because neons are kind of a trend, but I very much like that blanket. This is another blanket that I saved on Pinterest, and it is the Crochet Orla Flower Power blanket. And what I love about it is, again, the color choices. This is very retro. Just, it looks so snuggly. Again, I mean, it's crochet. I'm not super advanced or super skilled in crochet, but I'm sure I could figure it out. But yeah, I don't know if I'll ever get to these blankets, but I do really like this one just purely for the colors. Because it's granny squares, and I really don't like tying in granny square ends, but you know, it could be worth it. The last thing I have is this Aran throw by Bonnie Barker. I'm not seeing a direct link for it on my actual Pinterest pin, but I think it's like in a roundup list, so I have to scroll to the bottom of it just to find it. But what inspires me about this is, because it is crochet, so like I don't know if I could actually do this, but my grandma had a blanket on her bed for as long as I knew her. It was a pink blanket, and I'm pretty sure it was crocheted, and I'm pretty sure she made it, and it went over her queen bed, maybe king bed. I'm not entirely sure what size bed she had, but huge blanket. It laid on top of her bed for as long as I knew her. My sister has it, so I really want one like it. I don't think I'll ever be able to find the pattern that she used, but this one, it's not like it, but it has a lot of stitches in it, and that's kind of what Grandma's was like. It was a lot more cabled, but it gives me that feel of Grandma's blanket on her bed. I might have to find a pink yarn. It was a very muted, dusty pink, and it could be because it was old, but also I don't really think that Grandpa would have wanted a bright pink blanket. They went back and forth from this blanket to a red comforter on their bed, but I remember this blanket a lot, and yeah, so that's what I think of when I look at this pattern. I highly doubt that I'll ever make it, but if I ever want Grandma's, if I ever want a blanket like Grandma's, then I think I know where to look. Let's move on to sewing. We're gonna bring it back to, what was her name? Becca from Fiber and Floral. And in her podcast, she showed a lot of she showed a couple patchwork items that she had made, and specifically I am talking about the Nines Pinafore dress. It's releasing soon, but I'm not necessarily wanting a pinafore dress, but just a patchwork dress in general. Like, the patchworking she's done with her scraps of fabric is just so pretty, and I don't really have a lot of scrap fabric to use. I have full pieces of fabric, but when I have enough fabrics to make a scrap or a patchwork fabric to then make a dress out of, I totally want to do that. So yeah, what inspired me is just her patchworking skills. So pretty. And also the pinafore dress, go check it out on her podcast. It is beautiful. Okay, along the lines of this patchwork dress is this embroidery that I have seen, and it is a patchwork embroidery quilt PDF guide. Oh, it's a link to an Etsy shop for how to do all of these embroideries in a patchwork style or a patchwork quilt, I believe. And I was just thinking, like, well, I probably wouldn't want this as a wall hanging or anything, but if I ever got around to it and just make this project even bigger than what it would start out to be, is doing, you know, a patchwork dress, but then adding some embroidery on some of the different patches of fabric, just to make it like pop and stand out a bit and just have even more heirloom quality to it. I don't know. It's just really cute and really fun. But it does seem like it would be a lot more, not trouble, but a lot more work than what I would actually want to put into a project. But then who knows? Maybe. If the vision is super strong and the feelings are right, then I feel like I could actually get something like that done. But who knows? I'm only inspired. It's not a set in plan. That is actually my last thing that I wanted to show you that I was inspired by this month. Well, technically June and July, but you know, to make it more interesting, had to run back to June's board. But yeah, that is all that I have to show you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you have been inspired by. Tell me what project it is, if it's color coordinating things or different embroidery things. Just let me know. What have you been inspired by? What are you currently working on? And yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna leave you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!